Walkenhorst still plagued by shoulder injuries, as you can see by that tape. But here we go, the first semi-final in the women's competition. Brazil get us underway. And Talita can't make the first little cut shots, and Germany.
It's going to be very important that Germany recognizes Talita's late move as a blocker. She likes to fake block, as we call it. Drop at the very last second when you're attacking.
Good work from Talita. This, incidentally, is the 7th meeting between the two pairs. The German pair have won 6. Can you believe it? Just the one win for the Brazilians. That was at the World Tour final in the gold medal match in 2015. Brazil won 21-17, 21-18. But otherwise, it's been all Germany. This is a real chance for Brazil to try and get that record better.
Very surprising. Maybe the only team on tour that has that type of record against Talita and Larissa. And you better believe that they want to avenge that. They want to start to even things out for sure. There's the drop off the net by Talita again.
Walkenhorst comes up with the error. Brazil have a 3-1 early lead.
Surprising, a lot of teams into the net, a lot of players, I should say, into the net right there. We saw Talita hit the ball into the net earlier, and now it's Germany.
Walkenhorst finds her range. Both teams have won every match to this point. And they've both dropped just the one set. The Brazilians in their very first game, the Germans in their second game.
Yeah, it's been such a long tournament. We're in day 8, and as you mentioned, both these teams undefeated. But this is the first day where if you won in the quarterfinals, you had to play the semifinals in the same day. So that may be the reason you're seeing a lot of balls hitting the top of the tape. Maybe fatigue starting to play a bit of a factor, but it's been somewhat of a relaxed schedule. In pool play, you'd have a day off in between matches at times, but now it starts to get intense with only one day left in the women's competition, the finals tomorrow. The players being put to the test here on Friday.
Good block from Walkenhorst, and we're all level. Yeah, both teams played their quarterfinals at exactly the same time this morning, and strangely enough, both of them roughly the same time. The Brazilians took 32 minutes to win theirs, and the Germans 31. So they've had the same amount of rest time. In that respect, it's very fair in terms of energy expended coming into this one. Cross courts, and Ludwig is there. And Ludwig winds up. I'm not sure that Larissa needed to play that, but play it she did, and it doesn't make any difference because they win the point.
That's the type of player Larissa is. She's not going to allow the ball to fall close to the line. If it's close at all, she's going to play it and control her own fate. That's one way you can beat Talita. Sometimes she doesn't press over the net if she's late to the position. And with a quick arm swing like Laura Ludwig, she'll have a lot of success.
Yeah, we saw this the other day, didn't we? Going over it the second time, and explain why.
Well, that's that high volleyball IQ. She knows that the Germans aren't set in their defensive stance just yet, and she goes over on 2 and catches them off guard. The Germans have to expect plays like that from Larissa.
Oh, that's a good point to win for Germany. They had no right to win it, but they dug deep and they win it 6-all.
A little extra on this one. Give a lot of credit to Kira Walkenhorst getting that ball up, and then a little grunt crushing that ball across court.
So Walkenhorst, Ludwig, excuse me, serving at 6-all. Goes to Talita. Talita goes cross court. Walkenhorst with a wonderful dig with the left hand, but the ball still with Brazil, but now it swings to Germany's way. There's Larissa showing her class at the back, and there is a passage of play. That is that's a Ludwig signature shot right there.
It is the signature series from Laura Ludwig. She loves to go over on one, and that is all by design, and it completely catches the Brazilians off guard, and you can see by that reaction, yeah, she got away with it. Blocking signals always communicated to the defender so that you don't take the same side of the net. Kira Walkenhorst just patrolling the airways over the net, and a stuff block right there. Germany really looking sharp.
Yeah, they've said all along in this tournament, match after match, as we see a replay of the second block, they feel like they've progressed in every match because of the shoulder injuries and the injuries to both players. They haven't been able to play as much as they would have liked, or indeed like they did last year. So they were coming into this one sort of full of energy, but short on court time. And she's just made another one. She's reading them like a book at the moment, Dane.
Her technique is so nice. She waits, crouches down, gets full extension with both arms over the net on the Brazilian side. And that's another block. Wow.
Good leave. Great work from Larissa, but Talita can't back her up.
A lot of heavy swings early on by Kira Walkenhorst, and we will keep an eye on that shoulder. Looks strong right now, despite all that kinesiology tape.
Talita has to stretch forward, advantage Germany. Here she goes again. Oh, just tries to get too cute on the cut.
Tough play right there. Looked like the ball dropped a little quick for Kira and couldn't get on top of it. And you can just tell that this match has a lot of intensity, a lot of history between these two teams.
Oh, good covering from Walkenhorst. Ludwig is there again.
And the long embrace after the point here, rolls over the net, and Kira is doing a fantastic job of covering, getting low, playing some really solid defense, and controlling some of the broken plays.
Talita opting to play that one. Goes cross court. So final point for the technical timeout. The Brazilian fans on the far side. And Germany go into the technical timeout, leading by 3. It has been a very close encounter to this point. You'd expect nothing less in a World Championship semi-final. But it is the Olympic and World Tour champions that have the edge at the long break. So as the teams have a little chat, Dane, I think we're going to drop into the virtual red Bull Arena and have a look at some stats.
Yeah, this is Germany's serve placement so far, where they're going, and it's all to Talita. Larissa has so many great shots. Talita does as well, but the Germans have chosen to go exclusively to Talita, and so far it's worked with that 3-point lead at the technical timeout. For the Germans, it's using that tough serve. They're maybe one of the toughest serving teams that we've seen. They opt to use that jump float serve, and they've gotten the Brazilians in a little bit of passing trouble so that they can't run their offense as smoothly.
Again, they go to Talita. Off the net, though.
A nice look at the replay right there. Talita going cross-body, freezing the defense of Ludwig, falling for the kill.
Ludwig goes the arcing roll shot, which has Talita scrambling and stretching, but she can't climb high enough.
Yeah, we call that the jumbo or the rainbow to the corner. It's a hard shot to execute, but when it goes to the right spot, it is pretty.
Talita, well read by Ludwig now. Can she make it a 4-point game? You bet she can.
Talita didn't even take a look at the defense. Laura Ludwig slid into the line shot. What seemed like an eternity before the ball was hit, just waiting. She's definitely done her homework.
A touch from the service return was too heavy. It's advantage Germany once again. They go cross court. This time Talita is there. Can she finish it off to get it back to 3? Yes, she can.
Well, there's an example of all 4 players knowing each other so well. That back set by Larissa is something that'll go down every single time against most teams, but Laura Ludwig, she dug it up. Brazil ended up winning the rally anyway.
Ludwig the receiver this time. And rolled down the line to get it back to 4. It's out. 15-12.
You know, Germany has come out strong, flawless at times, and they've really controlled. You don't see a lot of teams put this type of pressure on Brazil. It's usually Brazil that has a low amount of unforced errors and is running their offense smoothly. But look at Germany. They're getting their hands on every single attack from the Brazilians, and it's kind of wreaking havoc on Brazil's offense. It's been a bit erratic, but they've stuck in there.
Ludwig waits as we see Germany receive the Larissa serve. Again, it goes to Ludwig. Set by Walkenhorst. Good dig from Larissa. Talita with the set. Larissa back pedaling Walkenhorst. Gets all tangled up.
There's a blocking signal. She's going to block line. Decides to drop at the last second. And I think when that ball hit the net, it threw Kira Walkenhorst off, and point for Brazil. So after 2 successive points, Brazil cut this lead just to 1 point. And it's been a battle so far. Basically, exactly what we expected. Just know it's going to come down to the end, and what team is strong when you get to about 19 all.
Well, there you can see Talita yet to get on the score sheet at the net. In terms of successful kills from a block, she's got her hands on a couple that have led to Brazil winning points. So it will be Larissa to serve. 14-15. You cannot legislate for that. Huge slice of luck, but Brazil will take it.
Larissa, right there, going, it looked like, for kind of a short serve, and fortunately for her, just clipped the top of the net.
Over at the second attempt from Walkenhorst, which was read by Larissa. Germany keep the ball alive. Now Ludwig, can she finish? Firing it straight at Talita, who can't deal with it.
Now that's one of Talita's issues there, dropping off the net too often. You want to watch the set before you drop off the net, and Talita tries to drop. The set is absolutely in the right spot, and Laura Ludwig just tees off.
Talita has a little look at where Walkenhorst was and rolls it over the attempted block.
Yeah, it's funny, Talita, you saw that little look on her approach. Some players have better vision offensively than others. The ability to kind of use that peripheral vision to see what's going on the other side.
Good work from Larissa, but Germany still have possession. Larissa again reading the intent and a backpedaling. Walkenhorst can't deal with the power, and Brazil are in front.
How about how easy Larissa made that look? She digs this ball, but then it's the poke shot over the net, and then the conversion. We're seeing the blockers drop a lot from their blocking position into a defensive position, and both sides of the net have exploited it. Back set that time by Germany, and again Talita drops off the net. This time Laura Ludwig, hitting from the right side of the net, crushes it cross court and challenges Larissa and comes up with the winner.
Service ace perhaps? No, because Larissa chases it down.
That's not going to clear.
No, it's not.
Talita's got to make sure that that ball goes in. She's just trying to raise it high so they can have time to set up, but to not get it over the net is a big error. Look at the float, the movement right down the middle. Kira Walkenhorst and Laura Ludwig, such great servers. This is what they do. They get you in trouble. You start reeling. And then Talita, as I mentioned, got a little too cute with the over, and it doesn't make it over the net. So maybe a costly mistake. They could have maybe won that point, but nonetheless, Brazil going to have to call a timeout and think this one over.
These two sides, two pairs, have an incredible record together. Brazil, as a pair, played 34 tournaments, 16 golds, 3 silvers and 1 bronze. That's 20 podiums in 34 tournaments. That's very, very impressive. Germany as a pair, 41 tournaments, 9 gold, 3 silver, 4 bronze, 16 podiums. Not too bad. The Brazilians never outside the top 10. Germany haven't been outside the top 10 on tour since the 2015 World Championships in The Hague, when they finished 17th.
What was most telling about that break right there, Larissa breaking a smile. You rarely see the smile out of Larissa, and some good communication between Talita. So showing that she's pretty relaxed in this situation, and why not when you're the winningest player of all time with 62 wins. And they make it look easy, side out. But this is where you make your money at the end of the set. Both these teams have that extra gear to really turn the volume up. And let's see who can get the advantage.
Off the block. And here we go. Huge, huge point coming up on the Ludwig serve.
Nice underhand set up by Laura Ludwig, and a high hit off the block by Kira.
Deep serve to Talita. Can she finish it off? No, she... Oh, it was. I thought she'd missed it, but it was off the block.
Beautiful shot right there, pinpointing the line. And what made that play special is the set from Larissa. You know, Larissa, a 9-time setter of the year on the FIVB World Tour. No questions answered. Wow. How about that? Laura Ludwig just peppering that ball straight down the line, showing that she's got power.
So, the first set point goes the way of Germany. And they win it on an ace. Well, what a time to come up with a service ace. And Germany are in front, 21-19. Well, that's just what they wanted. They didn't want to be toing and froing. Get it done as quickly as you can, but that is an added bonus.
Big question, who would get that 2-point margin? That ball drifts into the middle of the court, a difficult ball to handle, and Talita pushes it to the net a little quick. Larissa turns, and she knows this first set is all over. On the other side of the net is excitement. They know how important it is to win the first set. It gives you that comfort zone. You can come out in the second set a little bit more relaxed.
21-19 confirmation, and that Germany take this first set. And well, we look at the stats, Dane.
Yeah, 3-1 for Germany. Kira Walkenhorst winning that battle for sure, but a battle back and forth.
The serve placements for Brazil. Well, there you can see heavily at Ludwig.
I don't know if that's the answer. It was interesting. The other day, the United States, Clays and Hughes were trying to go to Walkenhorst. That didn't work out for them, so we're seeing Brazil go to Ludwig. Not a lot of choices when you're playing two spectacular players. The Olympic gold medalists.
Into the line. Yes, it's an interesting one, this one. That Germany have the medal that the Brazilians desperately wanted, and the Brazilians have the medal that the Germans desperately want. An Olympic gold that has evaded Larissa and Talita. And Larissa at least, has World Championship gold, which is what Ludwig and Walkenhorst are desperately after.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but Talita not going to the top of the podium ever in the World Championship. She's got to be hungry just like these Germans, for sure. So hard to win a World Championship. Twice the amount of teams that are in the Olympic Games, so you can imagine from some of the powerful countries having twice the teams in there just makes it even more challenging.
Onto the line. The challenge coming, in fact. This is going to challenge this one.
The ball is called inbounds. It is very close. Going to take a look at that Hawkeye system for the first time in this women's semifinal. And both teams get 2 challenges. If you're unsuccessful, you lose those challenges. If you are successful, you can challenge basically all day long. And the referees have been so on point. And here's the ball. The ball looks out of bounds. Yeah, out of bounds. So point for Brazil. That was close.
It was close. So that should make it 3-1 to Brazil. Again, they go to Ludwig. And Ludwig fires down. The other interesting thing about always going to Ludwig, if you've got a player who's clearly got a shoulder issue, then perhaps maybe you should just try that shoulder out. There's a change of tactic here. Gone to Larissa. Right onto the line.
Larissa going up and to that corner. Has a range of shots, she does, as does Kira Walkenhorst. And you see that little extra oomph on that ball as she goes deep into the corner. Brazil trying to find answers and weaknesses into this German gold medal winning team, but there aren't many. And so that's why the score stays so tight.
Yeah, good work.
Call that going down the alley in between the blocker and the antenna. Talita, one of the best at doing so.
Yeah, had to be cute because the set was too far away from the net, and Germany in danger of losing touch here.
It's a nice idea by Laura Ludwig. She just ends up a few feet wide, and the Brazilians give it right back to them.
Just long. One service error follows another, and it's funny how many times in this competition we've seen that.
Yeah, it's almost like it's contagious, right? You miss one and you see it happen, and then you go and do the same exact thing, and that's going to be another service error. That one at least going long. I always say if you're going to miss a serve, miss it long and not into the net. But now the fact that you can trickle it over with that let serve, maybe the top of the net is that special place. A little tight.
Improvisation lands on the line.
That's a good look at the poke shot by Talita. Great court vision by Talita all afternoon.
Cute from Ludwig. Side switch, 8-6, Brazil.
Look at the poke shot. Laura Ludwig dropping it right behind the block of Talita. So precise on that shot.
This has to be too tight. It is too tight. And another point back for Germany.
Germany dominating the net right there. Look at Kira Walkenhorst get up in the air, push that ball all the way to the back of the court. And if you compare Kira Walkenhorst to Talita, she is really owning that net play. It's pulling Germany back into this second set.
Larissa, the recipient of the serve.
Just trading blows back and forth. We've seen the poke shot, a little open hand roll. You see how it's just out of reach of the blocker. That means it's perfectly placed.
Oh, well, what goes around comes around. The Germans had a heavy net cord against them a little earlier on, and they get lucky there. Service ace, levels it up.
That's what Brazil really needs to look out for, is the tough serving from Germany. play the close ones, get those arms out early. And almost another trickle over the net by Kira Walkenhorst, but that ends up short. And Germany's really given every opponent that they've played fits with their serving. That jump float serve can be so challenging.
Off the top of the net once more, but this time Talita with an opportunity to kill. She misses.
If you're Brazil, that's one of those shots you have to make. Look how open that cross court is. She goes for the power and really just runs out of sand.
Here it goes again. That's another one. She played one in the first set from the same end, which resulted in a point to Germany, and she's done it again in the last point before the technical timeout. And Germany go in to the technical, leading 11-10. They've turned it around in the first half of this second set. They were 7-4 down, and they now lead 11-10.
They're just really controlling it. They're just right now playing at a higher level than Brazil, and they're executing on their shots. 72 jumps as opposed to 86 for Kira Walkenhorst. You see the K-Cows, 314 for Walkenhorst and 295 for Talita. How those K-Cows are figured, distance traveled down on the court, and times that each player has jumped, so that number will continue to rise the longer that the match goes on.
Talita's had 4 more service attempts than Walkenhorst, which might explain a little bit the longer distance, because of course she has to serve and make her way from the back line up to the net to set. So Germany lead 11-10. It's wide. Now, cast your mind back to the Olympic Games, and Brazil went AWOL in that second set. They were comfortably beaten in it. 21 points to 12. Service error turns it to a 1-point game. That dastardly serve down the middle that everybody leaves for each other.
We've seen it so many times here on the Red Bull Center Court. That ball floats in the middle, and right now, Brazil giving Germany a little of their own medicine, that deep float serve, but they get it right back. Aggressive play, that's been the difference so far. Walkenhorst now at 324 kcals expended, traveled 1.2 kilometers, move around on that court.
Just shows you those short, sharp runs, they add up, don't they?
Not the greatest of passes right there.
They get away with it though.
If you're Brazil right now, you don't push the panic button yet, but you better start playing with more urgency, and you better start rolling the dice a little bit more, because Germany has that set advantage and they have the edge here in this second set. So as we get down past the halfway point, closing in on that real important business end of the set, you don't want to be tied up. If you're Brazil, you want to go in there with a lead to finish this thing off, but right now it's been all Germany.
Ludwig Gets the net cord. Oh, now, what a time to come up with a net cord serve. And timeout called.
Laura Ludwig, she's a fierce competitor. Expression doesn't change as she walks off the court. She knows an important tricolor serve, but she's got a lot more work to do.
4 of the last 5 points have gone Germany's way. 16-13. Is this a lead that they won't give up? It's a bigger lead than they had in the first set. It was 15-13 in the first set. So Ludwig at 16-13. Germany took the first set, remember, 21-19.
That time, Walkenhorst kind of caught sleeping. There's the poke shot and a late reaction. Doesn't get over there, but not an aggressive point by Brazil.
Well read by Talita. Can she finish a set? It was not a good one from one of the world's best.
That's been the Brazil problem, getting by the block of Kira Walkenhorst. You know, you go back a couple of years, Kira Walkenhorst, not nearly the player she is now. Now, one of the most dominant blockers, one of the most feared hitters, and she is so mentally strong that you just don't want to go up against her. 5 successful blocks, 7 successful attacks.
Well, she was the World Tour's best blocker last year, and she's continuing in a rich vein of form. Now that could be a killer blow. A 4-point lead at the end of the second. It's getting to the last chance saloon for Brazil. Walkenhorst again, she goes to Larissa. A change of tactic late in the set. Larissa controls the service return this time.
Right now it's now or never. There's Larissa ripping it down the line. They're gonna go back to serve, and they have to score some points here while serving. But Germany has been so solid. Again, that ball ripped. And notice Talita dropping off the net again. That seems to be her tactic of choice. And it just hasn't been panning out. Laura Ludwig with a smart shot right down the middle of the court.
So, Ludwig at 19-15 off the net cord. Talita gets it up. Now can she finish it off? And there we have it. Another first time reply from Laura Ludwig. And it's 5 match points. They have got the sign over this Brazilian side, the Germans, haven't they?
Well, they've done their homework. They're completely dominating. And Laura Ludwig with that signature over on one shot. Nobody does it better. And you can see a little cheeky play. And she's 3 for 3 on that play here in this match.
So the first match point on the Ludwig serve goes to Larissa. Set from Talita. Block comes in. And Ludwig gets her hands on the ball, but she can't control it this time. They're in the last chance saloon now, Brazil. They need 4 points on the Larissa serve or it's all over. And Larissa to save a second. Into the net! It's all over! And Germany, the reigning Olympic champions, the reigning world Tour champions will get a shot at the Triple Crown because they're in the World Championship final. The side that has been beset by injury. There was question